Hello, my friends. Welcome back. Thank you for hanging around during the break. Thank you for letting me step away for a moment. So, back into Pikmin 2. We've been playing this for quite a while, so we're really far along. And like I said, it's become rather difficult. But we're still going to try and do our best and hopefully have a lot of fun with it. I got this weird snack. I don't know what this is going to be like, but I'm going to try it out. I've never had one of these before. These are mushroom crisps. I really like mushrooms. I don't know about these. I'm kind of scared, but I thought I'd try them with everyone on the stream. I like to try a weird food or drink on rare occasions. Well, you know what? It's just a dehydrated mushroom is all it is. Doesn't really smell like much of anything. They're just flavored with sea salt, it says. Let's see what it's like. Mushroom crisp is weird. That's a weird snack. It's not actually dry all the way through like I expected. It actually still seems to retain some of its moisture in the middle. But I mean, it is what it says on the box. It's a mushroom, and it's kind of crispy. That's pretty good though. I wouldn't spend a lot of money having these all the time because they are rather expensive for what they are. I think anyway. But if you're a fan of mushrooms, you could do a whole lot worse. I don't know. I don't think I'll be picking them up again unless I find them on sale. But I'm happy to munch on them right now during the stream. And I'm going to try to remember to mute and unmute myself so that I'm not, crunching into the mic. I don't like to do that to you guys. But I'll have another bite and then we'll get rolling. Stream Kyle, welcome in. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hope you're having a good Tuesday. Just getting a closer look at your emote there. I don't know the character, that hat. Is that a cow? You're not sure? Fair enough. Alright, so same summary I always give. We've got one cave left to find in the first area, which I think is probably going to be the last cave that we complete. We're done with the Awakening Wood in its entirety. We've got one area to come back to in the Perplexing Pool at some point. I think that's maybe something to do after we find Louis. We've got 1 and a part of a cave left. So revisiting the Hole of Heroes is going to be our first order of business. There are 2 treasures to get down there. And I wrote a note to myself so I wouldn't forget. She's a cool streamer though. Good art, fun energy. Right on. You meet a lot of great people on Twitch. You really do. Water Pikmin. My note to myself is Water Pikmin. So we're going to go in. We're going to go in with a team that's basically all water. And hopefully, excuse me, hopefully we'll be able to get the job done. First thing to do, though, we've got to take out some enemies and collect some berries. Bring the volume up a little bit there. So, as much as I prefer not to begin a session of Pikmin with grinding, it kind of always has to happen because, you know, we always finish up with our resources somewhat depleted. And all these enemies on the way to where we need to go are always respawning. That guy with the missiles is probably back. Remarkably, I don't see him. I'll be back tomorrow for sure then. That's just the way that guy works. Uh-oh. Alright, we're probably going to lose a lot of blue Pikmin, so we'll regenerate a lot of blue Pikmin in preparation. Never played the Pikmin games. Played a little bit of Overlord, which people said was like Pikmin. Overlord is a game I don't think I know that game. I don't know that I've heard of it before. Pikmin's a lot of fun. It's a lot more intuitive, too, when you're the one who's actually playing it. I feel like Pikmin might seem more complicated than it is if you're from a perspective of watching it. I always felt like that was the case. It's really the only game of its kind that I've played myself, though. Except maybe you can kind of say that the Wonderful 101 is like Pikmin, but mostly in superficial ways. And I didn't like the Wonderful 101. I really wanted to, but that game is not for me. I can't figure it out. I can definitely recommend the Pikmin games, though. They're pretty magical. I think I like Pikmin 1 a little bit better myself, but the thing about Pikmin 1 is you are on a constantly running timer, and if you don't work quickly enough, you'll lock yourself out of the true ending. So Pikmin 1 can be very stressful. I found that timer to be very oppressive at times. So depending on how you feel about a mechanic like that, Pikmin 2 does not have that same clock feature to it. So it actually might be a better place for a lot of people to start, even though it's slightly more complicated than Pikmin 1. And only ever so slightly complicated. Only ever so slightly more complicated. But they're definitely worth playing. You play as a demon overlord guy who commands all these little gremlins with various colors and abilities. Don't remember much of it, though. That sounds kind of like Pikmin. That's for sure. I don't think we need to spend too much time on collecting berries. I don't think we need that many sprays to go back down into the cave. We've got 7 right now. I don't know. If we get that up to 8 or 9, I think that'll be fine. We might do one more berry harvest and then be ready to go. Let's go ahead and clear out the enemies, though. Hey, blue team, take him home. I like the treasure hunting aspects of these games. Like claiming items and marching them victorious back to our home base. Try out Pikmin, another GameCube game I've heard about and want to try is that Chibi Robo game. I've heard good things about that one too. I've never played it though. I have heard it's a lot of fun. I know it's got to be crazy expensive to buy a copy though. GameCube games are some of the most outrageously priced at the moment. I was lucky. This is not my copy of this game. I'm actually borrowing this one from my sister. I was lucky that she had a copy and was willing to mail it to me so I could borrow it for a while. I have lost a Pikmin somewhere. What? He's in the ground. Okay. Let's build our team for the cave. We're gonna go pretty much all water. I'll have just a handful of the other types. Okay, I'm not even gonna bring any purple Pikmin with us. All of my blue Pikmin are so weak. Why are they all so weak? No one's ever had any juice? Fortunately, we left a lot of juice out over here. It wasn't enough. All right, I think there's more next to the cave though. We gotta hurry. Oh, I want to harvest those berries again. It's so difficult to restrain myself every time I walk past the berries. I'm only at 99. I don't know where I lost one. Oh well. That's alright. We leave one Pikmin behind for good luck. I don't know how that's supposed to work, but that's what I'm calling it. Alright, cross your fingers, my friends. We need some good luck to make it through these floors quickly. By the way, for those interested, we've talked before about I've talked before about how the name Agent Frownie and the character, they come from a comic strip that I used to draw with my friend in high school. For those who have been dying to see something from it, the icon for the Sunday night stream was actually a panel from one of those old comic strips. So if you wanna take a look at it, you know, the VOD from Sunday is still up, so you could check that out. We didn't actually play the game that I had it up for. It was a Nightmare on Elm Street Frownie. Yeah, we were gonna play that game, but my copy of it, I couldn't get it to work. It was terribly disappointing. It was the icon sparrow. It was the icon during the stream for pretty much the entire first part of the stream. It's nothing super special, but I thought a couple people might be curious who weren't here Sunday night, so I thought I'd mention it. Eventually, I'll scan a couple of the comics and put them in the Discord, but for now, I'm just sharing it in bits and pieces. You get a single panel to whet your appetite. Because it really is it really is something very underwhelming. Uh-oh. It's all about delayed gratification, Boat Ladder. You enjoy something more if you've got to wait for it a little while. Oh, please don't set us on fire. Keep moving downward. That was probably a bad move. I probably could have powered up some of my Pikmin on that floor. I think there was some nectar. That was a bad move. Oh well. Nothing I can do about it now. Do these guys produce nectar? They do. Cool. Well, they were carrying these moths back to the thing? Really? Hey, we can replace the one Pikmin that I lost. Does he produce nectar? He does. Oh, perfect. You think I would have all the details and features of all the enemies in the game? You think I'd have them understood by now, but it's not quite the case. I'm something of a slow learner and a poor rememberer. So even on the rare occasion that I do learn something, it doesn't stick with me like it should. We can just leave everybody over here and run for it. Hey, we'd be happy to have you in the Discord. Do I have a mod? Can somebody whisper a link to Stream Kyle? Please and thank you. Thank you, cows. Right on, thank you. This is a terribly scary floor. And unfortunately, I think the exit is behind this guy, which is not something I want to deal with. Quick, before he destroys us. Very scary floor. That's a very scary floor. I don't like being there. For those curious, we're just kind of rushing past everything because we've already been through these floors. We're kind of backtracking. We're trying to get treasures that we missed on our previous expeditions down here. Who did I lose? Blue. Eventually, we're going to get to floors that have treasures on them, and we're going to have to stop and do some work. Actually, we're going to have to stop and do some work on this floor, because, this is a very bad floor. See if we can just hide everyone over here for a moment. If I have to go in there, I'm gonna weep. I have to go in there. No. Oh, tears streaming down my face. This is impossible. It's not possible to get through there. We've got to back out. We've got to do this again fresh. I cannot make that trip. No. There's no way I'm going to make it through that room. Not with this team. That's very annoying. The floors are randomized. The layout of enemies and the exits are randomized, and we just got insane bad luck with that floor. It put all the enemies in a tiny room with the exit on the far side of it. If there hadn't been a door in front of the exit, I could have sneaked through there, but there was absolutely no way to do that. So we're gonna have to start that fresh. That's awful. That's awful. I didn't even think that configuration was possible for that floor. We exhausted the email messages a long time ago. We just get the same mail every day now. Oh, that's irritating to have to do this all over again. What rotten luck. Okay. Step 1. Clear out the enemies. Don't really need to do much berry harvesting. We'll do a round just because, but really it's I just want to clear out, make sure the enemies are cleared out. And I see no enemies. That's good. We've got to go back to our base anyway, so, I mean, we might as well take berries with us. Have a couple mushrooms while we wait for everybody to show up. Okay, so we want to put away all but the minimums. I kind of forgot that you can change the distance of the camera. That does not look like 100 Pikmin. Hey, we got another raid coming in. Excellent. Welcome in, Blue the Eevee. Great to have you here. Welcome to your friends. Welcome to Pikmin. Pikmin 2. We are on the hunt for treasures tonight. Kind of backtracking through a cave that we mostly completed. To take care of the business that we left undone. It's not going super great. We just had some very bad luck on our first attempt to make it through the cave. I ended up with a randomly generated floor that was basically impossible. So we're starting again fresh. But tell us, what were you up to? Space engineers. That seems like a very sort of straightforward title there. I don't know that I haven't heard of that game, though. Tell us, how is it? You were playing way too many games. Alright, so you're going back and forth through some things. Right on. TFC Game, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us. Let's make our daring escape. Space is harsh with a lot of guns. Remind me never to go there. That sounds terrifying. I think I'll keep my feet planted on the earth. I'm tearing down this wall, and this wall is pointless. Oh, no. Oh, calamity. No, what are you doing? Get away from the fire. I didn't know there was a fire monster over there. And a bomb spider? What more awful things can happen to me? I do not appreciate that that enemy can attack me through the wall. I think that is tremendously unfair. Speaking of games being harsh, my friend. Pikmin is destroying me. Why? Why does it keep doing that? I switched to red. It's supposed to give me all reds. Red, red, red. Red, red. Ugh. Alright, red team, it's you happy few. Tear him down. That water enemy is looking to do violence against me. All is fair in Jank and Pikmin. As much as I hate to admit it, Pikmin does kind of have a bit of jank about it. Just a little. Mostly to do with the controls. It's very difficult to select the individual Pikmin that you want to, especially in the heat of battle. Have you done all the dungeons where you meet the yellow Pikmin yet? I have yellow Pikmin. I can't say that I'm 100% sure of the question. I have not done all the dungeons, that's for sure. I have, at least 2 that I've never explored at all, and I've got 2 that are partially unfinished. I feel like there's more than just a little cow says, "You're so charitable." I mean, you have to consider, like, I'm playing this immediately after playing Scooby-Doo on the Game Boy, right? So my tolerance my tolerance for jank has been raised to some pretty ludicrous heights. Comparatively a masterpiece. Pikmin's been on the menu for a while. We've been working on it for a while. I mean, some games take longer than others. Pikmin has, unfortunately, it hasn't been played. It's been played a disproportionately low amount compared to the amount of times it's been on the schedule too. Pikmin is, unfortunately, it's a game that keeps getting bumped and cheated out of its time. So that's why I'm happy that we're actually putting some real work into it tonight. Even though I've accomplished nothing. I've accomplished nothing so far tonight. Skipman. Yeah. Yeah, it's been skipped a lot. And it doesn't deserve it. It's a wonderful game. I don't like this floor. I don't like this floor. I don't like this guy eating my Pikmin. Oh, I'm so mad. What an annoying floor. Wish they'd take the tech demo approach to more games like this, where they try and render the most stuff possible or impressive visuals. An example, or the N64 puzzle game that you played that was all about making lakes. Yeah, Wetrix. You just don't see many games where they try to show off a system's capabilities, then just loosely wrap a game around it. I mean, well, you kind of do, Pookie. Just not in the visual sense, but right. But that's the idea behind Wii Sports and 1-2 Switch, right? That those are tech demo games. They're not visual ones, but I think they fall into that category. They exist just to show off sort of different sort of gimmicks of the hardware. Bulbman. To be fair, Nintendo sort of prides itself in never having the best graphics. They haven't even tried to launch the best spec'd console in ages. Yeah, not they. I mean, the GameCube was kind of like their last attempt at that, right? I'm okay with that, though. That annoys a lot of people. Like, a lot of people want Nintendo to prioritize sort of graphics and stuff like that more, but I'm fine that they don't. I like the withered tech approach. GameCube is very good. I love the GameCube a lot. GameCube has some great stuff on it. I wish fewer of its games had been rushed. That's my only thing about the GameCube. Is it feels like a lot of the games for it were kind of rushed. I don't know why I only got one. I don't know why I only got one Pikmin out of that flower. Where in the world is the other? I could only find this one. Where's the other exit? This is madness. Is it hidden inside an enemy? I feel like the game forgot to spawn the other exit. Like, modern racing games are kind of like that. They make everything so shiny so they can show off the graphics, when in reality nothing needs to be that reflective. Yeah, racing games are kind of a visual spectacle kind of thing, aren't they? I think I would agree with that. There it is. It's all the way over there. I like Bushido Blade. It's not visually impressive, but that's a tech demo masquerading as a complete game. One new boat/jet ski racer that shows what current consoles would be capable of with rendering dynamic water. You see that in like pirate games nowadays. Am I gonna be upset again with my bad luck from the randomizer? I think I am. I think I'm about to be very upset all over again. Maybe not. Maybe not. I didn't see the exit over there, so that gives me hope it could be over here somewhere. Ooh, it's in there. How am I gonna get in there? Okay, that's not that bad. Let's make this guy chase me. Come on. Fall for it. Yes. You too. Hey, Bulborb, get down here. Perfect. If that guy eats my Pikmin through the wall, I am going to stop playing video games for the rest of my life. Cobra Triangle 2. I don't know that game. I think I was thinking of Wave Race. Strength for Life. Great to see you. Thank you for joining us. We are struggling with a little bit of Pikmin. Oh, thank you for the host. Hey, very kind of you. Thank you for that. Surprise, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. We're sort of talking about games that are fleshed out, that are glorified, fleshed out tech demos. New Splashdown would fit the bill. Cobra Triangle's a NES game from Rare. Don't think I have that one. I would almost argue GTA 3 was more of a tech demo than not. I've told this story before, but GTA 3 is the first game I ever played that really messed with my mind. I can't think of a lot of experiences like it, but I played GTA 3, but I saw it for the first time. One of my friends got it, and he invited me over, and we stayed up all night playing GTA 3 for just hours and hours. And then the next day, when I was on my way home and I was sitting in traffic, for a moment, it really felt to me like a viable real world option to overcome sitting and waiting in traffic by getting out of my car and going over and stealing another one in real life. I had the urge inside of me to get out of my car and do that. It was very weird. It was very weird. I can't think of an example of where like a game, like an activity in a game felt like of something I could viably do in real life after playing it. Frownie drops video games, and thus a new ASMR streamer is born. Guri Soma, thank you for joining us. I hope you're having a good Tuesday. We've got so many fine people here tonight. I saw at the expo. I saw a complete in box Powerpuff Girls game on the N64. Yeah, I've seen that one. I've seen that one. I will reveal I don't have that game on the N64. I have the other version of it. Metal Gear Solid 6. That one I'm not familiar with. Riding your bicycle, holding a missile launcher. That That could have been the moment that changed your life forever. Imagine the adventures of 5-star Frownie. I don't think I'd make it to 5 stars. IRL, Buddha. I can barely make it. I can barely make it to 5 stars in the game. Cow says my high school once went on lockdown because there was someone riding around on a bike with a chainsaw. I wonder if that guy played a lot of GTA. That's gotta be one of the wildest stories I've heard. Surprise is a good dude. Frownie likes Zero Mission. Metroid Zero Mission? Yeah, I like Zero Mission a lot. The only thing I don't like about Zero Mission, alright, well, one, you know, it's a little hand-holdy at the beginning, but I kind of get that, so it doesn't bother me as much. It's hand-holdy, but it's not super talky about it, so... that's not as bad as it could be. I really don't like that stealth section in Zero Mission, though. That stealth section, that was really unpleasant. I might have just not been in the right mood for it when I played it. There was definitely a lot of user error, but I struggled through that part and I hated it. Five, sorry, that was 2 tech demos. Metal Gear Solid 5. Again, I gotta say, I'm not well versed in the Metal Gear Solid franchise. I've only played a little bit of the Twin Snakes, and I don't think it's the game for me. We did on the stream. I played the Twin Snakes for 3 hours, and I was so trash at it, you would not believe it. I could not figure out how to do anything in that game. It was 3 hours of embarrassment and horrific frustration. I'm gonna give it another try someday. When I can go in mentally prepared. I'm gonna give it another try. I think I'm gonna play the one on the PlayStation, and I think I'm gonna read the instruction manual before I play it. But this is not something I'm in a hurry to do. Would you consider Katamari a tech demo? From what I know of it, maybe Buddha Fingers, but I haven't actually played it, so I would give a very tentative yes, I guess. We've seen what you did to Contra. We know that person is in you. What? Oh. Because all the horrific violence that I exhibit when I play Contra. Is that what you're getting at, Buddha Fingers? I meant 0 Hour. Oh, Duke Nukem, yeah. 0 Hour. I have fond memories of that game. I had that on the Nintendo 64 when I was young, and it's one of the few Duke Nukem games I've spent a considerable amount of time with. I think I probably even beat it, but I think on an easier difficulty. I don't remember very well. Duke Nukem 1 and 2, the DOS games, I used to play those on my dad's computer at work. Sometimes he'd have to take me to work with him, and he'd set me up on a computer in the office, and I'd play Duke Nukem on DOS. I don't remember much about it, and I don't think I was any good at it, but I don't know. I remember playing it. That's basically it. There's no real detail to that story. That's pretty all right. The way that those kind of divided up. All right, so we're finally on a level where we're finally on a floor of the cave where we can do something, and it's a boss time. This may go very, very badly. Let me catch up with the chat here for just a moment. Sounds like a school dance. I don't know what that was in reference to. The bicycle and the chainsaw? Twin Snakes on GameCube is more of a movie enjoyment of cutscenes. You should try the PlayStation 1 version. Yeah, see, and that's the thing, is I really don't like watching video games. I don't like talky games at all. Like I like for cool story things to happen in games, but I really want them to be playable. And if I'm gonna be shown a cutscene, I want it to brevity. Brevity is the soul of wit, right? I don't want them to outstay their welcome. If there's something that's got to happen in a game that I can't play, it has to be shown to me. Just do it quick. Don't make me sit through a whole bunch of nonsense where I'm not playing. So that's I knew going in that Metal Gear games are very talky, and that's gonna be a huge check mark in the negative side. But I thought I was prepared for it, but not quite, not so much. Journey was definitely a tech demo pretending to be a game, Buddhafinger says. 60% done with 0 hour. I had no idea the game was so long. I burned myself out. It's a hard game. Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I thought I remembered. I thought I remembered playing it on an easier mode. It's an awesome game. Oh, did that hurt? PS1 has cutscenes, but trust me, some of those cutscenes, it feels... What? Some of those boss battles. I think that's a wrestling reference, right? You should play NES Metal Gear and Snake's Revenge. You get a jank, a challenge, and light on the talking. I think I have both of those too. I definitely have Metal Gear. I can't see Snake's Revenge, so I'm not sure. Boss battles in the first one are challenging. There's plenty of combat for sure. All right, let's wake up this boss. Everything's about to go wrong. Run. Uh-oh. Come on, guys. Get aggressive. Get aggressive. Uh-oh. Oh, come on. 2 Pikmin and a dream. I missed. I missed again. Why is my aim so terrible? Okay, seriously. Oh, come on. Finish him off. Victory! Alright, we got a treasure. First treasure of the night. It only took an hour and a half to win it. We worked real hard for this one, my friends. We didn't lose that many Pikmin either. I expected to lose like half the team. Thank you for the trophies, cows. Thank you for the GG Buddha fingers. Feeling good about that one. Feeling very good. That's a solid victory. We've got one more treasure to get to finish this cave out. The next floor is kind of a dice roll. It's filled with a lot of enemies. It's just a wide open floor with a ton of spiders. And we may do some suboptimal combat pairings here on this floor too. Because there's a lot of water everywhere. So even though they're enemies that clearly you're not supposed to use water type Pikmin for, we're probably going to anyway. With a small team to start. Try and figure out who has the treasure. Is it this blue guy has the treasure? No. That would have been too convenient, I guess. Uh-oh, is it the red guy? It's the red guy. Don't get burned. Oh, never mind. It's this guy. I forgot that guy existed. Oh, please don't get stepped on. I feel like I remember this guy being pretty easy. Oh, I said that and he destroyed half my team. He looks like the king from the Super Mario Brothers movie. The de-evolved king. That's what he reminds me of. How's this game compared to the first? So, I prefer Pikmin 1 to Pikmin 2, I think. It's a little more streamlined, and I kind of appreciate that focus about it being a sort of a more focused experience is really cool about it. It has a constantly running timer that you're working against, and you can lose the good ending by making too many mistakes and wasting too much time. And that can be very oppressive. Feeling that clock weighing down on you the whole game. I can definitely see how a lot of people would not appreciate that aspect of it. And I probably wouldn't like it as much as I do if I hadn't sort of got lucky and got the good ending on my first playthrough, but because I did, I think more highly of it. This, though, is probably the better game, really, in every way. It's kind of hard to try and argue that Pikmin 1 is necessarily is really better than Pikmin 2 overall. But I think I like it. I think I like it a little more. Just for that, the straightforwardness and simplicity that it has over this one. But this game is really bigger and better, and most is really bigger and better if I am taking out if I'm taking away some of my sort of just personal taste kind of things from the equation. Could you guys work more quickly? There we go. Treasure acquired. That's it. We're done. We're done with this cave. Fond gyro block. Oh, I forgot to read what the other treasure was called. Alright, well, we have to keep going deeper to get out of here. Do you like the N64 Zelda games? I do. I do. I've actually played Ocarina and Master Quest on the stream, and Majora's Mask. And I think I would say that I like Majora's Mask better than Ocarina. Though they're both really good. I'm a pretty big Zelda fan in general. I think I have to say I've liked every Zelda game I've played. I haven't played them all, but I've played most of them. I've probably played 2/3 of the series. Hola, Master Tuesday. Welcome to the stream, and happy Tuesday to you. I think Majora has more art, creativity, and a better story. Strength for Life says. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm there with you. It's kind of difficult though because Majora's Mask really doesn't exist without Ocarina of Time and doesn't have. Majora's Mask has some advantages. It has some tremendous advantages by having Ocarina to build off of. Happy Tuesday to you too. Thank you, Tuesday. Um, this guy is back. Oh, I hate this guy. All right, so we're gonna try and tackle the Dream Den, the last cave. It's gigantic and probably gonna be terribly difficult, but we're gonna clear a path to the Dream Den. We're gonna farm for some berries to fill our juice back up, and we're gonna try and make it happen. It'll be the last. It's the only cave that we. Well, that's not true. It's the next to last of the caves that we've never entered before. It's going to be a massive, sprawling, terrible cave, too, because it's got... I can tell that because it's got 21 treasures in it. It's unreasonably massive. You reckon we can make him play the CDI Zelda games? I would love to. I think I would love to, but here's the thing: I'm not gonna buy a CDI. Right? That the console in those games that would put me back like what, $800 for one console and three terrible games. If I tried to do that, the stream would end. The stream would end because when when Jelly saw our bank statement, she would murder me. Maybe they'll release the CDI Mini. That would be awesome. It'll never happen, but it would be awesome. They should just port them to the Switch. Did they ever release ports? No, they're only on the CDI, so far as I know. Someone ported them to PC, I think, though. I think there's a fan port to PC. I may not be describing that accurately, but... Come on, eliminate this guy. Oh no, the day's almost over. I didn't watch the clock. Alright, we'll go ahead and end the day. You can play them on a totally legit nothing funny with it Wii. I have a totally legit nothing funny with it Wii Buddha Fingers, but from what I understand, CDI emulation is pretty difficult. I'm just saying the CDI are absolutely games you emulate, never buy them. I've never succeeded in getting a CDI emulation to work. But I am pretty not clever, so there's that. Frownie is too nice to torment with those abominations. Tuesday, have you seen the kind of stuff I play? I'm doing a marathon of Scooby-Doo and Powerpuff Girls games. How much worse could it get? And nothing's ever going to be worse than Echo. I refuse to believe that I live in a universe where there can be an experience that's worse than my playthrough of Echo the Dolphin. How about No Death, All Power-Ups Quest 64? I haven't played that one yet, Strength for Life. I hear bad things about it. Excuse me. Just as Frownie thought he had reached the bottom of the abyss, only to find out it goes ever deeper. Unfortunately, you're probably right. What I want to believe about this world and what things are lurking there, waiting to devour me, are not necessarily compatible. Wishes can be granted, Frownie, but then you'll need another because you'll wish you hadn't. Yeah, you're right. Wishes always need to come in even numbers, so you can always unwish a previous wish. Have another bite of mushrooms. I'm actively drinking out of 2 coffee mugs because I forgot to take my mug with me during the BRB to refill it. Or to top it off, rather. So I just brought another one down, and now they're both half full. It keeps me going. I'd rather wash an extra coffee cup than make another trip up and down the stairs. Coffee, I just use my pure rage to keep going. I try not to rage at games too much. Bad for my blood pressure, right? I trend more toward despair when I'm suffering in a game. I spontaneously cease to exist if I don't have coffee every morning, Tuesday says. I do all my coffee drinking exclusively at night. I drink coffee only during the stream, really. I mean, I love coffee. I could drink it any time, but I figure I probably shouldn't drink more than 1 pot a day, and I'm always gonna want to have some during the stream, so. Would a basement coffee pot be too decadent? I don't even have a coffee pot currently. I've got one of those One of those pour-over kind of things. And it's pretty alright. I was kinda lukewarm on it at first, but I've grown to like it more the more I've used it. What kind of grinder do you use? I don't grind my own coffee beans. I get pre-ground stuff. I'm not that fancy. Don't let my pour over thing fool you. Keurigs? No, I don't. I've never used one of those. I don't really like the idea of them. They seem, I don't know, it seems really it seems very wasteful to me. But it seems kind of wasteful and expensive. I stop having coffee at 2 p.m. at 2 p.m. at the latest. After that, I avoid caffeine, which makes tiramisu an awkward food for me since desserts are an afternoon thing, but caffeine is a morning thing. My mom tried a Keurig, hated it, went back to the ones where you use a filter and pour into a cup. Used to be a Folgers guy, but fresh ground coffee is so much better. It's really not a challenge to toss some beans through the grinder while the water boils. Yeah, you know, you make a good point, Butterfingers, about that. Maybe I'll consider switching when I run out of the stuff I have on hand. Maybe I'll buy some whole beans, and maybe I'll think about buying some whole beans and a cheap grinder. You might, I might could be persuaded to do that. The phrase might could is a southernism that I speak with that I am very acutely aware of every time I say it. Because it's something I say that drives Jelly crazy. But it's never gonna go away. A decent grinder is important. One of those, like, spinny blade grinders is no good if you can avoid them. What's your tip, Budafingers, for picking out a good grinder? What should I look for then? Instead of what to avoid, what should I actively look for? If you've got a tip for me. Never been able to stand coffee unless it's in a monstrously sugary frappuccino situation. But then I prefer really bitter tea, so who knows? You are an enigma, cows. Okay, can I get one Pikmin to pick this up? Thank you. Tried Maxwell House one time. It tasted bad, Strength for Life says. So I don't have a brand that I consistently go with. Necessarily I'll buy different stuff, but I guess my preferred grounds are Folger's Black Silk. But I'll grab something else, just depending. I had a friend in college from Georgia who said Mike could all the time, and occasionally it pops into my vocabulary, Cow says. Yeah, Mike could, reckon, and y'all are probably my most prominent Southernisms that I speak with. And probably in that order. I probably say them in order of frequency in that order. Mike could, reckon, y'all. So now sometimes I say, Mike could try do, which is just ridiculous. Mike could try do. Oh, I missed that one. I had a college friend from Hawaii who said try do. Using the same situations as Mike could. Okay. I could try do that. Alright. I might could try do that. I didn't read the full I didn't read the full message there. How did I leave behind so many Pikmin? We gotta hurry! I'm pretty linguistically impressionable. I'll very quickly start to talk like the people around me. I like absorbing other people's expressions into my vocabulary. A burr grinder is what would be ideal. Okay. Mario makes a hand grinder for around $30. That's really good if you want to actually grind. I have one and use it when I travel. My kitchen, I use a fancy $100 grinder. It does no better job, just quicker. I was raised by a Southerner, so I say y'all all the time, which is kind of wild for someone from California. Yeah, so both of Jelly's parents are from Wisconsin, but because her family was a military family, she never actually lived in Wisconsin, but she had all these different Wisconsinisms or Midwesternisms in the way that she spoke all of her life because she picked them up from her parents. And so people would identify her accent, sort of the northern Midwestern accent, and ask her if she was from Wisconsin. She was like, "Well, I've actually never lived there." So something I picked up from her is the way, I think it's a Midwesternism, is the way that she uses the word yet. I would always use the word yet to mean already, like as in like, are we there yet? Like. But Jelly will use the word yet to mean still. Like where I would say like, I would say like, I can't think of a natural one. Like I would say, are there still some sodas in the icebox? She would say, are there sodas in the icebox yet? Something like that. I like the idea of a hand grinder, Buddha fingers, that has like a certain romanticism. I can romanticize it in a certain way, like the idea of working for my coffee. To me, that sounds like someone is impatiently waiting for the freezer to be refilled. Yeah, and it's not a great. The example wasn't really great, but the like the inflection of the sentence kind of tells you, and the context around it kind of tells you that it means still instead of already. But it's hard to come up with a good example on the fly. Nowadays, I just buy the Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee. In the mornings, I pour it in a glass with ice and do iced coffee. Here in Arizona at like 7 a.m. It's 88 degrees, so hot coffee is not ideal. I always want my coffee to be hot, pretty much. Iced coffee, like really cold iced coffee, is all right. But in general, I kind of just always want my coffee to be hot. Do you like freshly ground peppers? So we've talked about that before. I don't notice a difference. I don't think there's any I don't feel like there's any difference between pepper. Not a significant one. Maybe if I was eating something that was just more, but see, the thing is, pepper, I usually use black pepper in combination with other seasonings also. So because it's not very, because it's part of a group of flavors, I don't know. I've tried it. it just doesn't seem to make a difference to me. From Nebraska going to Arizona and still doing hot coffee. It was a wake up call. In the winter months, I do switch back to hot. I mean, I know what I mean, I haven't lived in Arizona, but I've lived close. I lived in Texas. I know, I know what it's like to live in the heat. But I still want my I just like my coffee. I just like my coffee hot. But to that point, well, I was gonna say I probably drank less coffee in Houston, but I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all. In fact, I probably drank more coffee when I lived in Houston because I had a big thermos I took to work with me all the time. Maybe grinding coffee won't either. I feel like it's an immense improvement. Yeah, maybe not, but I would be willing to try it. I think. Perfectly understand when it gets cold here and Starbucks has their pumpkin spice latte. Oh, mama, it's delicious. I mean, there's something to be said about a coffee-flavored milkshake, right? They're pretty good. They're pretty good from time to time. I get you, Frownie. I rarely do iced tea, always hot tea. 95 out, time for a nice cup of boiling water. Jesse Thompson, welcome in. Thank you for the resub, Jesse. 5 months. It doesn't. It really does not feel like 5 months. But thank you so much for the support, Jesse. That it really means a lot to me that you would subscribe and help keep the stream going like that. Hope you're doing well today, and hope you've had a good Tuesday. They said they don't picture you as a pumpkin spice latte guy. What can I say? I love pumpkin pie. I'm a big fan of pumpkin pie. It really does not feel like 5 months. It does not. Frownie's thoughts on tamales. I can't say that I have any thoughts on tamale string for life. I'm not even sure if I've ever eaten one. I'm trying to think. I feel like I must... Well, that's not true. Well, I feel I must have eaten one, but I don't remember it. I remember when I lived in Houston, a friend gave me some tamales, so I know I had to have eaten them, but I don't remember what I thought of them. I guess they probably didn't make a strong impression either way. If I don't remember what they were like. Don't listen to me at all. I worked in a tea shop and became a tea snob, so I drink coffee because I didn't care if it was cheap until I moved out west and there was all this coffee to try. It's over for me. Pretty good, only eat them around Christmas. I know my dad likes to eat tamales from a can. I can't imagine they're very good. But I remember him eating canned tamales as a snack every now and then. I was never brave enough to try the canned tamales. I don't like to eat a lot of, like, prepared or, yeah, I don't really like to eat a lot of prepared stuff from a can, other than, like a stew or a soup. But, like, canned pasta, for example, I'm not really a fan of. And I mean, I'll eat plenty of stuff I'll eat plenty of stuff from a can, but I kind of prefer my canned foods to be sort of single ingredient things that I'll use in something else, I guess. Spam, I like Spam. I like Spam quite a bit. Spam can be good. I don't eat it a whole lot, but a couple times a year I'll be like where I'm really in the mood, and I'm just like, I have to fry up some Spam, and I usually have it with eggs. I want to try making like a Spam fried rice, but I just never get around to doing it. But Chef Boyardee, so when I was a kid growing up, on Wednesday nights, my mom would go out and play bingo, and my dad would make dinner, And every Wednesday for my entire childhood, my dad made a can of Chef Boyardee ravioli. Wednesday night was ravioli night. And I liked it. I looked forward to it when I was a kid. But I stopped. After I grew up and went out on my own, I stopped eating it for a while, and now I can't. Now I can't take it. I tried having it after not having it for a couple years, and I've lost my taste for it. Did you ever go play bingo? Sometimes. Not very often, but sometimes. It was mostly a thing for my mom to do with her friends, like. So. She didn't exactly need or want the kids tagging along for it, but like every now and then she would take me along. And I'd get to play. I don't ever remember winning anything. Alright, let's see what this is going to be like. We need everybody. Alright, let's go. Oh, we need berries. We need to spend a day harvesting some berries, too. Your mom used to work the bingo night? I got groceries today and bought some decent-sized cupcakes as dessert for the week. They're all gone. I get a can of hash like twice a year like that. I usually have a lot of canned. I have a lot of canned beans and tuna and tomatoes in my cupboard. Those are the canned foods that I have on hand pretty much all the time. Oh, and chicken too. Canned chicken isn't great, but it's convenient if you're gonna make like chicken and rice. So, and it's okay. Maybe some canned chickens are better than others, but what I get, a lot of the canned chicken that I get, I'm not super crazy about. It's just one of those things that's kind of good enough. I don't think I could do it. It's too easy to roast a chicken. Well, that's what I have it for. I mean, this is true. But I don't know. I always got a couple. Always got a couple like boxed meals in my. Because I really like to cook and to make stuff from scratch, but you can't always do that every night. So there are a couple different sort of go-tos like that I have in boxed and canned form, and chicken and rice is one of them. It doesn't get a whole lot easier than opening a box of rice and a can of chicken and throwing them in a pot. For a while, I did do just that. I vowed not to eat any meal out of a box or bag. Yeah, and I like I said, I like to cook things, so I don't often, but eh. Sometimes you got to do what's convenient. 'Cause I realized that's all I knew how to make. Well, I was in that boat for a long time. I've talked about it. I've talked about that before. Like, I was, I was, I was pretty old when I finally figured out like that I could cook things for myself. There was a good stretch of time where I lived off takeout and boxed meals and stuff like that, frozen meals, and I pretty much exclusively ate those things. Very rarely did any cooking, other than really sort of simple stuff like like grilled cheese or hamburgers or something. I should probably bring more of a lot of these Pikmin than I think I'm gonna need. Because I'm so often wrong. Why are my numbers so weird? You did. You made the chicken meatloaf. Need to get into the kitchen more. The more I'm in there, the easier it gets. So I really started cooking after Jelly and I moved home from after we moved home from Korea. We were living in Tennessee, and Jelly got a oh my goodness. Why are all of the enemies back? Oh, he just blew up my whole team. Jelly and I got back from Korea. We were living in Tennessee, and she got a job in Houston, so we were going to be moving to Houston. But her new job started before my contract with the school I was working at ran out. So she moved to Houston ahead of me, so I was living by myself for a little while in Tennessee. And I was going there was a Mexican restaurant right near where I taught. And I was going there every day. I was kind of living on one meal a day. I was going there for fajita nachos every day. And I was living off of that. And then I was like, I don't know, it occurred to me at some point, I was like, I could probably learn to make this for myself. I don't necessarily need to come over here and buy this every day. And I was sort of halfway motivated by the idea of making my own fajita nachos. And the other half I was motivated by the film director, Robert Rodriguez. He used to, I don't know if he might still do it, but he used to put bonus features on his DVDs where he'd have a little cooking school. He'd teach you how to cook a recipe. And on one of his DVDs, and I don't even think I saw the movies that they go with, but on one of his DVDs, he's got my friend showed them to me. He's got a lesson where he teaches you how to make breakfast tacos. And that was, I was like, I can make the fajitas, the fajita stuff from this restaurant, and I can make the tortillas like Robert Rodriguez showed me in his video, and I can put them together, and I can cook my own food. And I did it, and I put them together, and it was magical. It was a very empowering experience. It's kind of random and kind of silly, but putting those two things together really changed a lot about the way I live my life. Yeah, for Once Upon a Time in Mexico. He makes this like that's the first one. That's the first one I saw. But that recipe is crazy complicated and weird. So that was I mean, for someone who never cooked, that seemed insurmountable. I mean, I still haven't ever made it and don't think I ever will, but I liked his presentation style in that video though. That really sort of like captured my attention. But the breakfast tacos video like stuck in my memory, and eventually inspired me to actually cook something from it. It involved banana leaves. Yeah, but yeah, you had to wrap it. You had to, like, roast it in banana leaves. I never made it either. I don't blame you. The first thing I set off to make was carbonara because one of my friends told me it was really easy to make, Buddhafinger says. The numbers of my Pikmin got all weird. I don't know why all these enemies had to respawn. I just wiped all these enemies out yesterday. They're not supposed to respawn the very next day. And yet they do, just to make it impossible for me to go into the caves. Kind of looking forward to maybe tomorrow, but one of these days this week. I just made some bacon the other day, and I strained and reserved the fat from the bacon, and I'm gonna use it the next time I make tortillas. I'm excited to try that out. I think they're gonna be amazing. How much time passes in the cave? Time is frozen when you're in the caves. Thank goodness. If time moved when I was in the caves, I would be without hope. Here we go. First time venturing into this one. We've actually came into this cave once before by accident. But I didn't do anything. I kind of half-heartedly fought a couple enemies for a moment and then was like, nope, this is going to be a bad idea, and retreated. Yeah. Bacon fat is amazing. Have you ever heard of a Dutch baby? I don't know what it is. I've heard of the dish before, but I don't actually know what it consists of. I actually need to collect all of these fallen enemies, but I do it anyway so my Pikmin won't be distracted by them later. The least endearing quality of Pikmin is how distractible they are. I've only ever heard of it on Bob's Burgers. I haven't actually watched that show. It's kind of like a pancake you make by pouring it into a hot cast iron skillet and putting it into the oven. Cast iron is not something that I really use. I've got one cast iron pan. I find it a hassle to deal with, though. My grill, the grates on my grill are cast iron. That's the only cast iron that I really find worth the trouble to maintain. I use stainless steel for most things. Can't be bothered with all the seasoning in the pan after cooking in it. Yeah, that's the thing, is maintaining the seasoning in the cast iron is it's more of a hassle than I would have put up with. You also use steel, right on. I have a couple non-stick pans, a couple nice non-stick pans, but I really only like to use those for things I cook on a fairly low heat. If I'm gonna turn the heat up at all, then I just use the steel. Used to be afraid of stainless? Yeah, I mean... there is, like... It is, like, when you're first using it, I think, like... And you get, like... You can, like... When stuff gets stuck to it, it can be kind of intimidating. And there are some things that I won't cook in the steel pans that I probably could, but usually like if I'm doing something like if I'm doing like fish or eggs or something like that, that's what my nonstick pans are for. Eggs and stainless is a disaster. I mean, I know you can do it, but it's I don't know. I'm not gonna get as good as I need to be able to pull it off. I have some fancy German nonstick pans too. You can use metal in them. Nice. I feel like every time I make eggs, I'm still learning how to make them. So this kiwi, we've actually acquired this before, but we had to abandon it. I learned the other day that everybody has this chemical in them that's used in Teflon and other nonstick things. Basically, you can't get rid of it, so it just accumulates and even spreads into unborn babies. I wouldn't be surprised that, you know, that we probably have a lot of chemicals like that. I wouldn't be surprised to find out we had a lot of them. Disguised delicacy. It is still mildly alarming, though. I've really only got 2 modes of eggs that I cook, and so when I make scrambled eggs, they kind of start off very similar to a French omelet, the way that I like to make them. French omelets are just eggs, right? They're the ones that are plain, like they're like a plain omelet that's just folded over. If I'm using the wrong term, then oh well. But when I make scrambled eggs, they start off seeming like an omelet because I like them to start to set up, and then stir them about, because I like my scrambled eggs to be pretty well cooked. But I don't eat a lot of scrambled eggs anymore because now I have kind of a thick layer of fat that I cook my eggs in, and I just crack them into a pan with a generous amount of fat, usually bacon fat, because I've cooked the bacon, taken it out, and then I use the greasy pan, just crack my eggs in, and cover them, and just let them sit and cook until the whites just barely solidify, because I like the yolk to be super runny, and that's how I mostly make them now. Which is kind of the exact opposite of my scrambled eggs. I like my scrambled eggs to be really set up, but I don't eat them like that anymore, really. So it doesn't make any sense. Just eggs and butter, yeah. Gave up on regular omelets and cooked them, I don't know this word, tamagoyaki style, where you basically roll it. It's really easy and fast. Same, I have a little rectangle pan to do it too. Frownie's about to end stream. Well, I'm about to end stream, Shino. This is not a truth. We're still going. We're going strong. Because I'm talking about eggs, I'm gonna get hungry, and that's gonna make me leave. It is kind of that time when I start thinking about ending the stream, but I'm okay to play more Pikmin. We're gonna keep going a while yet. We've at least got to make it through this. We've at least got to make it through this cave with a few treasures in our pocket, right? What is? No, it's one of those guys. I hate that guy. That guy's the worst thing on the planet. Rectangle pans, madness. Implement of toil. It's a Nintendo 64 branded pencil that has no eraser and has been sharpened at both ends. I don't know how I feel about that. Initial impression, not super positive. Oh, this guy thinks he's so safe up here on his tower, I see. I'll make him regret climbing up there. Uh-oh. I'm gonna have to bring some yellow Pikmin over here, it would seem. Team Red just can't jump high enough. If he can fire all the way over here, I'm gonna be furious. Yeah, we'll bring some blue too, why not? I like the implement of toil. No mistakes, only toil. It is an unforgiving pencil, that is for sure. That is not a good pencil for me. If there's one thing I'm confident, if there's one ability I have that I'm very confident of, it's my ability to make mistakes. I have a tremendous capacity for making errors. Let's get this guy out of here. I guess we might as well sweep up all these other ones. I have a square griddleish pan I use. Thought of getting one of those specifically made for it, though. When I was in college, I worked in the cafeteria, and I was the display chef, and which is very weird. So I had to do all the I had to be out front of the cafeteria cooking everything live, where people watched me, and I don't know why this job went to me. But it did, and one of the nights was omelet bar. So I have never eaten an omelet, but I've made tons of them. And what's really weird is that was before I worked as the display chef at the cafeteria. And I still never cooked anything for myself. That was part of why I was confident, though, when I decided to try and make the fajita nachos for myself. That was part of why I was confident that I could do it, because fajitas was one of the things that I made on the display. There was a stir-fry night, there was a omelet night, there was a fajita night. there was a steak night. But for steaks, I didn't do those. That wasn't actually on display. I did the steaks behind on grills outside behind the cafeteria. I think those are the 4 nights that I worked. Now I'm gonna wonder if the person who cooked my food even knows what it's supposed to taste like. Well, see, that's it. Isn't that fascinating? I've never eaten an omelet, and I've cooked so many of them because I did it on display. I'm like, I don't know, it looks right. People seem to like them, so. I guess I did well enough. The worst thing about that, though, like, being the display chef, it wasn't actually, like, the cooking, like, where people could watch me kind of thing. That didn't really bother me so much. The worst thing about it was I had to do all my own prep. And it would take hours cutting all the vegetables and stuff for what I was going to need that night. Occasionally I could get someone else to help me out, but not often enough. This guy's not going to give up. Oh, no. It's a massacre, I know. I just lost a lot of our friends. What do we get? What's our treasure? It's a Glee spinner. It's a joystick. That's it. No more treasures on this layer. Let's get out of here. What's our team looking like? Not bad. We've mostly lost red. And unfortunately for the red team, they're kind of the disposable Pikmin anyway, so. I mean, they do have anti-fire abilities, so. Like, that is really valuable and unique, but. That was a calamity. And I just made it worse. What am I doing? Alright, this is now no longer a treasure hunting mission. This is now strictly a survival mission. We can maybe still claim this treasure. I'm gonna be foolish and keep trying to get treasure. For a little while. I was certain that there was no way that that would go through that wall like that. Well, at the moment, I'm not even going to have enough Pikmin to lift the treasure, so it's about to really not matter. Please don't throw them all off the edge. Alright. Well, now we don't have enough left to lift the treasure, so we've got to get out of here. That was stunningly bad, my performance there. This might actually be an escape level, though. I don't know. I see fire over there. That's a bad sign. The ghosts of my red Pikmin are thinking, yeah, we're not so disposable now, are we? So much fire. There's so much fire. Where in the world is the way out? No worries, I found it. I blundered so many Pikmin on that last floor. Oh no, if we have to tear a door down, that's gonna take a lifetime. Okay, they actually got that rather quickly. Can Frownie escape? That is the question. We've We're going floor after floor with seemingly no way out. Oh my goodness, this is bad. Don't bring that bomb over here. I hate this guy. Deeper we go. Come on, give me a safety floor. Give me an exit floor. This is becoming too much to handle. This is looking like neither. I do not like the look of this floor. There's a pumpkin over there? It's kind of cool. Come on, exit floor. It's no treasure, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. This might be an exit floor. It is! We're free! Don't get poisoned. Alright, well we made it out with what? We got 2 treasures? Whoa! We got 4 treasures. That's way better than I thought we did. Thank you for the trophies, cows. The dream cave has turned into a nightmare. Oh, it was always a nightmare. It was never going to be anything other than a nightmare. We're just going to grab a whole bunch of Team Red. We're going to go get some berries. There's not a whole lot of this day left. So we're going to use it for... We're going to farm a round of berries. Maybe 2 if we're really lucky. Everyone powered up, so maybe we'll walk a little faster. Great. I think we're probably going to get 1 round of berries if we're lucky. Don't let a type disadvantage discourage you. If you've got tremendous numbers, you can still win. I think that's probably all we can afford to collect. Maybe we can get some of these enemies too. But I don't think we can wait for more berries. Oh, we're gonna be cutting it close. Alright, that's all we can afford, if even that. Everybody run home. I didn't know this guy was out here. If there's a boulder rolling around, you can bet I'm gonna lose some Pikmin to it. My greatest nemesis, the boulder. Alright, everybody, come on, we gotta hurry. You're gonna be left behind. We did it. All right, my friends. I think we will wrap things up here now. I am that last mission there kind of took a lot out of me. I'm fading fast all of a sudden, so I think we'll call it a night here. What do you spend funds on? So the funds we had to collect to pay off our boss's debt. There's really nothing that I'm aware of that they can be spent on at this point. I think it's just I think maybe we might have options for different endings depending on how much money we have. There may be no purpose at this point. Excuse me, I really can't tell whether or not they serve a purpose now. But thank you for being here, my friends. I appreciate your company. We've made some good progress. We've cleared another entire cave and made a good start at another one. Right, 4 treasures. That's almost a that's almost a fifth of the way complete. 20% complete with that one. And considering how close we got to disaster. I think that that victory should feel a little bit extra sweet to us. But let's head out. Great stream as always. Thank you, cows. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, so I found the direction we're gonna head in. I'm gonna point us in the direction of Arcade Renegade. I don't think I've ever raided this stream before. I think we've received some raids from Arcade Renegade, but I don't know that I've ever caught them live. I feel like they've never been live when I've been wrapping up, or not very often, or if they have been, they've been streaming something that I haven't played, so I have to avoid spoilers. But tonight's some good old fashioned, looks like some good old fashioned Super Mario Brothers 3. What a game! So we'll head off in this direction. Can't necessarily speak toward what the content's going to be like on the other side. Just a heads up. But we're gonna hope for the best. But one last time, thank you very much, my friends. Tomorrow night on the stream, we should start off with more that Scooby-Doo in the first part, and the plan is to try and play Vector Man for the larger portion of the stream. I've never played it before. I really hope the cartridge works, and we don't have another disappointment like on Sunday night, but that's the plan, is start up a first playthrough of Vector Man for the first time and see what that's all about. Should be more Pikmin on Thursday night, more Pikmin 2. But hopefully I get to see you again real soon, my friends. I'm looking forward to enjoying your company again, but now it's time to take off. Let's go on an adventure.